My beloved child, stop scrolling and remain here for a moment, because something has already begun moving behind the scenes of your life, and what you are about to hear was meant to find you before the next chapter unfolds. Do not rush away. Do not dismiss the sudden pull that brought your eyes to these words. Something is waiting for you, something precious, something your heart has quietly hoped for even during the nights when you pretended you had stopped believing. Stay until the end, because the greatest part of this revelation has not yet been spoken, and when it is, you will understand why certain delays, strange silences, and emotional changes have surrounded your connection lately. There is a decision that has been made in a heart deeply connected to yours. It was not made carelessly. It was not born from a passing emotion or a lonely evening. Your soulmate has reached a place within themselves where uncertainty is slowly losing its power. For a long time, they stood between courage and hesitation. They imagined speaking, then remained silent. They pictured a future beside you, then questioned whether they were worthy of it. They held feelings so intense that even they did not fully understand them. But something has shifted. A quiet inner door has opened, and behind that door is a promise they can no longer ignore. Your soulmate has decided that they do not want a temporary place in your life. They do not want to remain a beautiful possibility that never became real. They have thought about ordinary mornings with you, peaceful evenings, shared laughter, difficult days faced together, and the kind of commitment that does not disappear when life becomes complicated. In the deepest part of their heart, they have chosen marriage. They have chosen the idea of standing before you without hiding, without escaping, and without allowing fear to write the ending of your story. Do not skip, because what happened after that decision is where this message becomes extraordinary. There is a ring connected to this story. It may already have been seen, considered, saved, discussed, or quietly imagined. Your soulmate has looked at it not merely as an object, but as a symbol of everything they have struggled to say. When they saw its shape, its light, or perhaps only a picture of it, they imagined your hand. They imagined your expression. They wondered whether your eyes would fill with tears, whether you would laugh in disbelief, whether you would become silent because the moment felt too large for words. The ring is waiting, but the path toward it is not as simple as it first appears. Something unexpected has entered the situation. Someone has noticed the change within your soulmate. They may not know every detail, but they have sensed that your soulmate is becoming more serious about you. They have observed the way your name changes the energy in the room. They have noticed how your soulmate grows thoughtful when commitment is mentioned. They have seen the distance in their eyes when they imagine a future that does not include you. And because this person senses that a permanent decision is approaching, they are preparing to interfere. Stay till the end, because the identity of this person may not be who you would first suspect. This is not someone who appears openly against you. On the surface, they may smile. They may offer advice that sounds reasonable. They may pretend to care about your soulmate's happiness. They may even speak gently about you while secretly hoping that the commitment never happens. Their interference will not begin with a dramatic confrontation. It will begin with questions. Small questions. Carefully placed doubts. Comments designed to sound protective. Are you sure? Is this really the right time? Do you know everything you need to know? What if you are moving too fast? These words may appear harmless, but behind them is an intention to delay what your soulmate has finally found the courage to pursue. This person understands that if they attack your connection directly, your soulmate may defend you. So instead, they will attempt to awaken old fears. They will bring up past disappointments. They will remind your soulmate of moments when love did not work out. They will use concern as a disguise for control. But listen carefully, my child, the interference is not stronger than the decision. Your soulmate has already crossed an invisible line within their heart. Before, they could be easily shaken because they were still questioning themselves. Now they are beginning to recognize that every path away from you leads them back to the same realization. They can distract themselves, but they cannot erase what they feel. They can remain silent, but silence does not bring them peace. They can listen to the opinions of others, but those opinions cannot replace the future they see when they think of you. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is not merely a proposal. It is the truth behind why this commitment has taken so long. Your soulmate has been carrying a hidden fear. They were not only afraid that you might reject them. They were afraid that they might arrive too late. They worried that while they were trying to become ready, you would learn to live without them. They imagined someone else recognizing your value before they finally spoke. They pictured you smiling beside another person, building the future they secretly wanted to build with you. That image disturbed them more deeply than they admitted. There were moments when they nearly reached out with complete honesty. They may have typed words and erased them. They may have rehearsed a confession while alone. They may have stood in front of a mirror imagining how they would ask you to stay. Yet every time the moment came close, something inside them whispered that they needed more time. More certainty. More stability. More proof that they could give you the love you deserve. But recently, a moment occurred that changed their thinking. It may have been a conversation, a dream, a memory, a photograph, or the sudden realization that life does not pause while people gather courage. Your soulmate felt the danger of waiting too long. They understood that love cannot remain forever in the planning stage. A future is not created by imagining it. It is created by choosing it. And in that moment, they chose you. Pause here and let that truth settle into your heart. They chose you not because everything is perfect, but because the connection feels worth protecting. They chose you not because they have no fears, but because losing you now frightens them more than facing those fears. They chose you because your presence has become tied to their idea of home. When they think about peace, they think about your voice. When they imagine being understood without needing to explain every wound, they see your face. When they picture growing older, they no longer want to picture that journey without you beside them. Yet the person who intends to interfere knows something about your soulmate's past. They know which emotional wound still makes them hesitate. They know the exact memory that can make them question whether happiness will last. This is why their attempt may feel powerful at first. They will not invent a completely new fear. They will reopen an old one. Do not skip now, because heaven is revealing this not to make you afraid, but to prepare your heart for what may soon become visible. You may notice a brief change in your soulmate's behavior. Just when the energy begins to feel warmer, they may suddenly become quiet. Just when communication seems ready to deepen, they may pause. You could sense that something important is on their mind, yet they may struggle to explain it. Do not immediately assume that their feelings have disappeared. The opposite may be true. The seriousness of what they are planning has made every outside opinion feel louder. Commitment has awakened pressure around them. Someone may tell them they are not prepared financially. Another person may suggest that the timing is inconvenient. Someone else may claim that marriage will change their freedom, their family relationships, or their future plans. Each concern will be presented as wisdom. But beneath these concerns is a deeper truth. Your soulmate's choice is changing the balance of their world, and not everyone is comfortable with that change. One person, especially, is afraid of losing influence over them. This person may be a close friend, a relative, a former connection, or someone who has depended heavily on your soulmate's attention. They are accustomed to being consulted. They are accustomed to having a voice in important decisions. They fear that once your soulmate fully commits to you, their own place will become smaller. They fear that you will see patterns they have tried to keep hidden. They fear that your soulmate will begin setting boundaries that never existed before. And this is where the shock will come. The person who tries to interfere may be someone your soulmate trusts. They may be someone who once supported the idea of you. They may have spoken positively about your connection in the past. They may even have encouraged your soulmate to communicate with you. But support is easy when love remains uncertain. Support becomes more difficult when love becomes permanent. The moment this person realizes that a ring, a proposal, and a lifelong promise are no longer fantasies, their hidden insecurity will rise to the surface. Your soulmate will be surprised by this. At first, they may not understand why the person's tone has changed. They may wonder why simple conversations suddenly feel heavy. They may question why every hopeful plan is met with another warning. Slowly, however, the pattern will become impossible to ignore. The one pretending to protect them is actually trying to preserve their own position. Stay till the end, because your soulmate's response will reveal how much they have changed. In the past, they may have allowed others to guide their choices. They may have abandoned opportunities because someone disapproved. They may have hidden their feelings to avoid conflict. They may have chosen peace on the surface while carrying regret underneath. But your connection has forced them to confront this pattern. Loving you has shown them that avoiding every difficult conversation can become another form of losing themselves. Your soulmate is beginning to understand that a future with you will require courage before the proposal, not only after it. They must be willing to defend the decision privately before they announce it publicly. They must be able to say, "I hear your concerns, but this is my life." They must recognize the difference between guidance and manipulation. They must choose love without allowing guilt to control the direction of their heart. And they are closer to doing this than anyone realizes. The ring is waiting because the emotional decision came before the physical action. In their mind, your soulmate has already pictured the moment. They have considered where it could happen. They have wondered whether it should be private and intimate or surrounded by people who care about you. They have imagined the words they would speak. They have thought about how to make the moment feel worthy of everything you have both endured. They do not want to offer you an empty gesture. They want the proposal to carry truth. They want you to know that every delay was not a sign that you were unworthy. Some delays were caused by their own fear. Some were caused by circumstances they felt they needed to resolve. Some were caused by voices around them that made them doubt whether they could sustain the kind of love they felt. But now they are beginning to see that waiting for every problem to disappear may mean waiting forever. Love is not the absence of unfinished things. Love is choosing who you will face those unfinished things with. Your soulmate has finally begun to understand this. There is also something deeply emotional connected to the ring itself. It may not be the most expensive ring. It may not be the grandest design. But it carries a detail that connects directly to you. Perhaps it reflects something you once said. Perhaps its shape reminds them of your style. Perhaps the stone, setting, or meaning behind it represents a promise they believe belongs to your story. They have not chosen randomly. They have paid attention to more than you realize. A comment you made casually may have stayed with them. A picture you admired may have been remembered. A preference you thought they ignored may have quietly guided them. Your soulmate has been collecting details of you, not with the cold precision of planning, but with the tenderness of someone imagining how to make you feel seen. Do not skip, because another revelation is approaching. The person attempting to interfere may discover the ring before you do. They may see a receipt, a message, a saved image, a conversation, or an appointment. They may overhear something that was not meant for them. The moment they realize the plan is real, their behavior may become urgent. They may create a reason for your soulmate to delay. They may claim that new information has surfaced. They may bring up your past, distort something you said, or suggest that you are not as committed as your soulmate believes. But they will not have the full truth. They may know pieces of the story, but not your heart. They may interpret your silence as indifference when it was actually self-protection. They may interpret your strength as distance when it was the result of surviving disappointment. They may point to a moment when you pulled back without understanding how deeply you wished your soulmate would step forward. This person will try to define you through incomplete information. Your soulmate will face a choice: listen to the voice outside or remember the truth they have personally experienced with you. The signs suggest that they will remember. They will remember how you made them feel when no one else was watching. They will remember the moments when your care came without performance. They will remember how your energy remained with them long after conversations ended. They will remember the strange peace that appeared when they imagined telling you everything. They will also remember the pain of almost losing you. There was a moment, perhaps known only to them, when they believed your connection was ending. During that time, they tried to convince themselves that they could move on. They filled their schedule. They avoided certain songs, places, and thoughts. They may have spoken as though they were unaffected. Yet underneath every attempt to let go was the awareness that something unfinished remained. That period taught them a truth no outside person can erase. Distance did not destroy the connection. It revealed its depth. Your soulmate discovered that missing you was not simply missing attention. They missed the version of themselves that existed around you. They missed the hope your presence awakened. They missed the emotional honesty they rarely allowed with anyone else. Most of all, they missed the possibility that one day the two of you could stop standing on opposite sides of fear and finally choose the same future. This is why the ring is waiting. It is waiting for courage to become action. It is waiting for a private battle to be won. It is waiting for your soulmate to decide that the voice of one interfering person cannot be louder than the truth they have carried for so long. Something is waiting for you, my child, but this message is also asking you to prepare your own heart. Marriage is not only a celebration of being chosen. It is a sacred responsibility to choose in return. Your soulmate may come forward with emotion, vulnerability, and hope, but they may also carry the marks of everything they have had to overcome. They will need honesty from you. They will need clarity. They will need to know whether the future they imagined exists in your heart as well. Do not allow pride to speak where love should speak. Do not punish them forever for delays they are finally trying to correct. Do not hide your feelings merely to prove that you cannot be hurt. At the same time, do not abandon your wisdom. Listen carefully. Watch whether their actions match their promise. A ring is meaningful, but the heart behind the ring matters more. A proposal can create a beautiful moment, but commitment is proven through consistency, respect, truth, patience, and courage. Your soulmate is being prepared to understand this too. They know they cannot simply appear with a promise and expect every unanswered question to disappear. They know there are conversations that must happen. They know you may need reassurance. They know trust may need to be rebuilt in places where silence created confusion. Yet instead of running from that responsibility, they are beginning to accept it. This is part of their transformation. For the first time, they are not asking, "How can I protect myself from love?" They are asking, "How can I become someone capable of protecting this love?" That question has changed everything. The person attempting to interfere will soon reveal more than they intended. Their words will become too specific. Their concern will become too personal. Their reaction will expose an emotional investment they tried to hide. Your soulmate will begin to realize that the advice was never completely about protecting them. It was about preventing a future in which this person no longer had the same access, influence, or control. And when your soulmate understands this, they will confront them. Not with cruelty. Not with chaos. But with a calm strength that may shock everyone involved. They will say something that has been waiting inside them for years. Something about choosing their own life. Something about refusing to let fear make another important decision. Something about you. The conversation will change the direction of the proposal. But there is one detail heaven has not yet revealed. The person trying to interfere possesses something. A message, a secret, a photograph, or a piece of information, that they believe can stop the marriage plan completely. They are waiting for the right moment to show it. Your soulmate does not yet know that this person has it. And when it appears, it will seem for one breathless moment as though everything has been turned upside down. Do not be afraid, because appearances are not the final truth. What this person reveals will not end the story. It will expose the real reason they never wanted the two of you to reach this moment. The ring is still waiting. The decision is still alive. But before your soulmate can place that promise into your hands, they must discover why someone they trusted has been hiding the most important piece of the past. And when they uncover who that person truly is, the proposal will no longer be the only surprise waiting for you.